just want to let you know what it's been like in this project. We've had the panels in the office for a week, sometimes some of them a week and a half, and it has been a real privilege and a real honor to be around these panels. 24 panels have been turned in to us to present tonight to the Names Project and this new display. And I just want to thank everybody who made these panels. All the love that went into them is very obvious and very moving. So once again, just thank you for being here. And I would like to introduce Cleve Jones, who is the Executive Director and the founder of the Names Project.
Thank you. Thank you. It's real nice to be up here. I wish it were a little warmer. Thank you all for turning out on such a cold night. This is a wonderful reception for us. I've spent quite a bit of time in Sonoma County over the last 10 years. I was up here working with some of you against the Briggs Initiative. It's hard to believe that's been 10 years already. And I was also up here in '84 doing some voter registration and working on Assemblyman Dan Hauser's campaign. And it's good to be back. I think many people aren't aware of how bad the epidemic has become in Sonoma County. You're one of the areas that's called the second wave part of the epidemic. And it's very encouraging for me to come here and see so many faces and to know the kind of work and love that comes along with you. I'd also like to quickly introduce a couple of people. Back over there are some of the Names Project staffers. Nancy Katz, who spends most of her days putting together these kinds of displays. Nancy. And also there is Lance Henderson. Lance has the fearsome responsibility of keeping us solvent while we tour the quilt. All displays of the quilt are presented to the public without any charge, so that means we have to cover all of our expenses so that the donations that are received at the quilt site itself can stay in that local area. And I hope that you'll encourage people to come here and to give generously. All of that money will stay in the local area. Lance has to raise the rest of it. And also with Lance is a member of the tour crew from last year who took the quilt on its first national tour to 20 American cities. That's Joe Van Es Ballesteros. Somewhere is our international coordinator, Jeanette Kojane, right back here. Jeanette is particularly excited this week because, as you may know, we were just nominated to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. And this is Michael Smith. Michael has been my partner in this endeavor from the beginning. Michael was the first person that I convinced to give up any normal life and work on the quilt. So Michael Smith, our general manager. When we started the project, I think it came out of a really desperate, urgent need on Castro Street in San Francisco to try and communicate something to the rest of the world about what was happening to us in the Castro. And we felt very, very isolated, and speaking personally, I think I felt a lot of anger, a lot of despair, and it's been a real wonderful honor to work on the quilt and to be a part of what the quilt is building around this country. And I think for me personally, the most important thing that's happened is that I've finally been able to turn my back on all that cynicism and all that despair and all that isolation, because now we're very much aware that the world is populated by kind, decent people who really do know what to do when they're faced with an epidemic like the AIDS epidemic. And of course, it's not any great mystery to you. I think you knew immediately what many government agencies have still failed to understand. And it's a very simple message. The sick are to be cared for, the dying are to be comforted, and those who have lost loved ones to this epidemic are to be held close to the community, and the full resources available to our community are to be brought to bear in the struggle. It doesn't seem like a very complicated message, but it's been a message that's been hard to communicate to the powers that be. As an organization, we have three purposes. Our first function is to illustrate the enormity of the worldwide AIDS epidemic by revealing something of the names and the faces that are behind the statistics. Secondly, we want to reach out to all the many different kinds of people whose lives have been touched by this epidemic, and we want to offer them a positive and a creative means of expression to help them work through their grief and their loss, and also to help communicate to the rest of the world what is happening. And thirdly, we want to provide the whole world with a very clear, beautiful symbol of how compassionate, loving, decent people everywhere respond to people in need, people who are ill. And we hope wherever we go that we can touch people's hearts and in so doing open their minds to the reality of what's happening here. I know that all of you have already dedicated your lives to this effort, and all of us at the Names Project work every day with a great sense of privilege to be connected to the family that you all represent to us. It means a great deal, and so I know I'm speaking on behalf of everyone involved with the quilt to come here and say thank you, thank you, thank you for your hard work and your love. And I'm not a very religious man, but I do have a quote from Mother Teresa, a previous winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, over my desk, and I would just like to share it with you. There is a light in this world, a healing spirit more powerful than any darkness we may encounter. We sometimes lose sight of this force when there is too much suffering, too much pain. Then suddenly, the spirit will emerge through the lives of ordinary people who hear a call and answer in extraordinary ways. You are those people, of course, and we're very proud to be here with you. Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to present the new panel.
The first name this evening is Ed DePazio of Santa Rosa.
And Tommy Zapaltas of Santa Rosa.
And the name is Rick Dubois of Monterey.
Jeffrey Nathan, Forestville. Gail Page from Sonoma.
Ralph Nishimi of Rio Negro.
Dennis Milligan, Petaluma. Elliot Devine, Guerneville.
Bill Thrasher, Sebastopol.
Nell Robinson, Santa Rosa.
Len Sullivan, Petaluma, California.
Daniel Roberts, Sonoma.
John Daniel Manley, Guerneville.
Dick McQuiston, Santa Rosa.
Annapolis.
Bob Robinson, Forestville.
All right.
Fred Wilson, Guerneville.
Raymond Lemaster, Petaluma.
Jimmy Carter.
This is for Gerald DeFries.
David Michael Harala.
Elliot Manold, Casadero.
To all claims of face-to-face.
Dr. Helen Wilbur.
Good evening. This is truly a special evening. The fact that the Names Project, the AIDS Awareness Quilt, would come to our county, the untold hours that volunteers spent making this event happen, it all occurred for one common reason, and that is to help bring AIDS awareness to the residents of Sonoma County, an awareness that is vital to our meeting the crisis of this epidemic. And it is a crisis. Sonoma County currently has the second highest incidence of HIV disease in this state. And as monumental as the task is to meet that situation, think for just a moment what it's going to mean to our future. In the past 5 years, Face to Face has done everything we could to meet that crisis, starting from a small group of people and growing larger, more professional. We had to. And the disease kept growing too. And now the disease is beginning to outpace us. Till now, we've been able to meet the needs of our client community. And very quickly, we're afraid we won't be able to. We need your help. We need the awareness and help of every citizen in this county. I wish I had time to individually thank everybody who helped make this happen. And I don't, but I do want to take a minute to thank all of the volunteers, the housewives and the students and the retirees, and the new friends we made, the people who called us and volunteered their time and energy and effort to come and help set this up, to be here to support the people who would be coming to see the quilt. Thank you. Thank each and every one of you. And we're glad to count you as our new friends. And now, please join me in welcoming the Names Project and the AIDS Awareness Quilt to Sonoma County. Thank you.
There's one last person that I'd like to introduce this evening before we open the display, and that is Diane Brabants from the Sonoma County Commission on AIDS.
The County Commission on AIDS would like to thank Dan. He is the person that's made this possible. And that's just what we wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. We'll be open until 10 o'clock. And just once again, I just really want to thank you for being here. It really means so much to us. Good evening.
This guy's bothering me.